the resultant action of karma.
Dice en Bhagavad Gita, tiene que actuar solamente por Krishna, si no usted va a atarse en el resultado de su trabajo. Jagarta.
They say that everything in the universe always goes to a disarrangement. It's disarranging, disorder. Everything in the universe is tending towards the greatest disorder. But what they're experiencing is that there's a big order that started one day, like this big order of all the laws they're seeing, the world going round, spinning, and the sun, and so many nice arrangements, this body, complicated machine. But they just won't ask what's the cause of that. If everything goes to this order, who started the order in the first place? They don't ask it. They just won't ask. Everyone raises this question. They just say, we have no means of knowing that. And they just leave
that
it like
means you are asking. Because you have no means, have no...
This is His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Many patients in the hospital.
Yeah.
Why do they not mention about them and give them food? Will it be allowed? There are thousands of patients in many hospitals. They are starving, and go and supply them food. Why do they not go there?
Because it's the order of superior.
Whatever it may be, there is some reason for their starving.
Most people don't understand that's actually allotted to people due to karma. They think that it's just some accident.
They are also starving. They have got enough food at home, but they are starving.
Yes.
Why? Why they do not go there?
They become disgusted with their families.
When anyone is starving, there are many persons starving. The conclusion is the starving is one of the items of this material. Why they are rotting? Throughout the whole world there are so many persons. They are rotting in the jail. Why?
Because they were arrested.
Is it due to others' fault or his fault?
His fault.
His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, will soon be getting here, and we're getting the temple ready for the occasion. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare.
Private garden, he speaks with a well-known Venezuelan lawyer and the Dominican ambassador to Turkey.
So, therefore, the modern education, they're simply committing sinful activities.
Sí, la educación moderna simplemente están cometiendo actividades pecaminosas.
The nature's law is so strict that we are walking on the grass and killing some ants and insects. So we are responsible.
La ley de la naturaleza es tan estricta que estamos caminando sobre la grama y matamos algunos insectos y hormigas y somos responsables.
Therefore, unless we keep ourselves busy in Krishna's business, we are becoming liable to be punished for so many criminal acts.
Por eso, a menos que nos mantengamos ocupados en los servicios de Krishna, nos estamos volviendo más y más culpables por las actividades pecaminosas.
Just like in your law, if somebody kills somebody else, he is punished.
Por ejemplo, en su ley, si uno mata a otro, él es castigado.
Man-made laws, they are made. If a man kills another man, then he is punished. But if he kills an ant, he is not punished.
Algunas leyes hechas por los hombres, y si un hombre mata a otro hombre, es castigado por la ley, pero si mata a un hormigo está bien, él puede.
But God-made laws, if you kill a man, you are punishable. If you kill an ant, you are punished.
Pero la ley hecha por Dios, si usted mata a un hombre o si mata a una hormiga, usted es castigable.
His Divine Grace daily gives discourses on his morning walks about the value of human life and the purpose behind spiritual understanding. Disciples and friends, as well as important dignitaries from all parts of the world, put questions to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, and he explains very simply, from the highest platform of spiritual realization, the sublime nature of this Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Right by the sunshine. So one is saying this side is better than the other side. Although it is true, because the upside is right, he says this is better side. Similarly, you have to die, but they think that dying out of starvation or motor accident is not good. Dying in this way is good. But when you say stop dead, they don't hear.
Also that
So where is contradiction? Everyone is being controlled. Where is contradiction?
in the sense they say one day they say one thing, one day they say something else.
That means rascal.
Yeah.
That means rascal. You cannot talk because you have no knowledge. You say perhaps, maybe. It is well of your knowledge. Don't talk. The monkey is very busy. You see, whenever unnecessary. And people in India, as one man goes, drive. But they think they are very busy, very important. But
Very small brain, big mouth. The people who work at this place.
you have got nice arrangement for capturing, but no opportunity for capturing. Man, this is man.
Eso es un macho, bravo, digo.
No food.
Ninguna comida.
Inviting some of us.
Está invitándonos.
The more you distribute, the more you become recognized.
The more you distribute, the more you become recognized.
And this is in college. But like the same teacher, I heard him saying this. Though he says this, he says there is no God. This is an invention of the necessity of man.
Why do you die? Why do you die?
No, he says it's the most perfect, that no one can make something better.
Where is perfection? Why do you die? You don't like to die. Where is perfection? Nobody wants to die, but it is sure that he will die. Where is perfection?
He says because of the fear of dying, one invents God.
Huh?
He is saying because one is...
Stop it this, then we shall not think of God. So, you follow the advices given by Rupa Goswami, Utsaha. The first thing is enthusiasm, that I must see Krishna. You are seeing Krishna, the deity of Krishna, and Krishna is not different. But even personally, you can see, simply we have to continue the enthusiasm.
Deben seguir las instrucciones dadas por Rupa Goswami. Utsaha significa entusiasmo. Con entusiasmo uno puede ver a Krishna. Ya ustedes ven a Krishna porque la deidad es Krishna. Pero si ustedes quieren ver a Krishna personalmente, el único requisito es entusiasmo.
Enthusiasm means to take things very seriously. Utsaha, dhajya, and patiently. Although we are determined to go back to home, back to God's hand, so we should patiently follow the rules and regulations.
Entusiasmo significa paciencia y también que nosotros tomamos las cosas muy en serio, muy seriamente aceptamos todo con paciencia y de seriedad. Eso es, podemos ayudarnos a volver a Krishna.
So these are the 6 principles. Endeavor, enthusiasm, and firm determination, and patience, and executing the regulative principles, tat karma pravartana. And sato vritte means behavior must be very honest, no duplicity. And Ustad, dhajya, tat nishcha, tat karma pravartana. And sato vritte, dealing must be very honestly, no hypocrisy. Tat karma pravartana, sadhu sangha. And in the association of devotees, if you follow these 6 principles, namely enthusiasm, determination, patience, and executing the regulative principle, and keep yourself honest and in the association of devotees. If you follow receiving me in this temple, and I was very happy, so my request is that you continue your devotional service very faithfully and rigidly. Then in this life you will be able to see Krishna face to face. That is a fact.
Les agradezco a ustedes mucho por su buena recepción y me gustó mucho estar aquí y yo pido esto, que ustedes sigan muy estrictamente y fielmente con su servicio devocional para que en esta vida ustedes puedan ver a Krishna cara a cara.
This man led a worldwide revolution in consciousness in the 60s. Wherever he went, thousands of people were there to greet and honor him. His name was A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and he brought the Hare Krishna religion to American shores.
He even influenced the Beatles, and they helped spark interest in Krishna. Hi, I'm Manya Surji.
And I'm Larry Laurent. Today we're going to explore the life and character of the man who influenced the lives of millions and made Hare Krishna a household word. At different times, Swami Prabhupada was known as a scholar, a philosopher, a cultural ambassador, a prolific author, a religious leader, a spiritual teacher, a social critic, and a holy man. He was not one of those modern entrepreneurial gurus who come to the West with slickly packaged, watered-down versions of Eastern spirituality. Swami Prabhupada was, rather, a true holy man, a person who was called Acharya, which means a master who teaches by his own example. After arriving in the United States in 1965 at the age of 69, Swami Prabhupada formed the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. This later developed into a worldwide spiritual community with hundreds of centers, schools, temples, and farms, with thousands of dedicated disciples. To have achieved all this in only 12 years was a remarkable achievement. But in addition, Swami Prabhupada also wrote and published over 80 volumes of translation and commentary on the great classics of ancient India. His books were welcomed with great critical acclaim by the academic community, and they were soon accepted in many universities and libraries around the world. Before passing away in 1977, Swami Prabhupada had succeeded in transmitting the profound wisdom of the ancient Vedic culture in a way that was clearly understandable to the modern man. He could explain difficult philosophical concepts to people who were totally unfamiliar with the complex Indian religious tradition. Between 1966 and 1977, Swami Prabhupada circled the globe 11 times. Whenever he traveled, he would emerge daily into the chill and quiet of the early morning, and he would take a lengthy stroll with an entourage of students, disciples, and guests. Swami Prabhupada also appeared very frequently on American television. Let's take a look at one of those interviews.
You founded the Hare Krishna movement some 7 years ago in 1967, did you not?
Yes.
In a capsule, what is the movement?
The movement is to awaken God consciousness of the human being. The human being is distinguished from the animals, that the animals cannot understand what is God. And if the human being also does not understand what is God, then he is animal.
I see. And so your movement is to bring about an understanding of God among human beings.
Yes.
And Hare Krishna means what?
Hare Krishna means addressing the energy of God. Hare means the energy of God, and Krishna means God.
Okay, you were here yesterday and to attend your annual festival that was held here in Golden Gate Park, and we were there too. And in fact, here it is. A few thousand people came out to hear it. How many people are now disciples of the Krishna consciousness movement?
Dedicated life, about 10,000.
About 10,000 dedicated
in
ones.
the Western world.
Your Grace, is there any significance at all in the shaved head? Why are heads shaved?
We keep ourselves very clean, that's all.
Oh, it's just a cleanliness thing?
Yes.
Is there any significance in the color of the robes?
At least at the present moment, people think that by keeping long hair, it becomes very beautiful.
I see.
Yes. So we are against that.
Just as simple as that. Is there any significance in the yellow robes?
Yellow robe is the dress, those who are dedicated.
It could very well have been a blue robe. It's just something that was arrived at.
This saffron.
Your Grace, why do you feel that so many people are pulling away from the traditional religions in this country, such as Christianity and so forth, and going for the trying to understand the Eastern religions? We hear a lot of swamis and gurus and other type of yogi and so forth. Why do you feel that people are pulling away from the traditional Christian standards here?
better we see that the Christian churches, especially I have seen in London, mostly closed. People are not interested, or the Christian leaders, they cannot make them interested.
Why? Did Christianity fail the people, which is why they're turning to other things? Or?
I think so.
You say that Hare Krishna consciousness pretty much takes the absolute truths from the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, and the Vedic.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Religion means to understand God.
I understand, but do you feel that in getting truths from various places like the Bible and the Quran and so forth, don't you run into conflicts at all or contradictions in those particular philosophies?
No, I don't find any conflict, because the ultimate goal is God. So you have to understand God and try to love Him. So you can go through any religious process. If the goal is attained, that you understand what is goal, and you try to love Him, then your life is perfect.
Why do we see so many of your followers chanting almost all the time?
Chanting means to keep association with God always.
So you have to audibly chant Hare Krishna?
Yes. This is transcendental vibration. Just like a radio message, if you keep contact with the radio message, then you know everything what is going on outside. Similarly, this transcendental sound, Hare Krishna, if you chant, then you keep connection with God directly.
Thank you very much, Your Divine Grace. It's been our privilege to talk with you and to meet you.
Thank you.
And hope that we can see you again when you return.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
We'll be back with more news in just a moment.
We were also able to obtain some candid footage of Swami Prabhupada going about his daily activities, and we found that there is a remarkable consistency between his private life and his public life.
We are receiving the transcendental knowledge through Guru Parampara, succession. So we have to simply take instruction from Guru, and if we execute that to our heart and soul, that is success. That is practical. I have no personal qualification, but I simply try to satisfy my Guru. That's all. My Guru Maharaj asked me that if you get some money, print books. Therefore I am stressing on this point. So kindly help me. This is my request. Print as many books in as many languages and distribute throughout the whole world. Then Krishna consciousness movement will automatically increase. That Supreme Lord, He is omnipotent, omniscient. He knows everything. But the living being does not know actually what is the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the difference between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and ordinary living being. Just try. My father wanted me to become like this. Know everything, what is going on. He never wanted me to be a worldly man, earning money. He never wanted. That is explained in Narad Pancharatra. Sarvapadhi vinirmuktam tatparatena nirmanam. Rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktischa. When we become free from these artificial designations, American consciousness, Indian consciousness, African consciousness, there is no such thing. This is artificial. Even bird and bees, they also feel consciousness, pains and pleasure. Just like when there is scorching heat, you feel some pain. Is that American, Indian or African? Scorching heat is every feeling. If you say that I am feeling scorching heat American way, क्यों जी?
हाँ जी।
ऐसा हो सकता है?
नहीं हो सकता।
Simply these are artificial. The Western world, the younger generation were being frustrated, the hippie movement. So when they saw something tangible,
they accepted it.
What things would, if everyone in the United States believed in Krishna to the extent that you do, what would happen to this country? How would it be transformed?
They'll be very happy and peaceful. There will be no more hippies.
What would you describe as a hippie? Someone who smokes.
You know better than me. Something extraordinary. So you may love humanity, but because you do not love Krishna, therefore do not love the cows, you send them later on. So your love will remain defective. It will never be complete. And if you love Krishna, then you love in the small ant. You're not interested in to kill even an ant. That is real love.
Now Gopal Krishna in India requested that BBT give him a loan of $160,000. In India, just during the Mayapur festival, he requested a loan from a US BBT for $160,000, which would be used to construct the second residence building.
So how will you pay back?
His plan was that the American temples would purchase rooms, and over a period of 4 or 5 years, they would pay that money back. So is that still approved by you, by your divine grace?
Yes, I know that.
The only thing is that we will have to delay the loan, because for the next 3 months, all our money will be used to print these 17 books.
First of all books, then loan. However, we cannot hold up printing, that is not possible. This you must always keep in view. We are not going to, the surplus money we are going to pay. Not that at the cost of stopping printing. You must always keep it. When you require money for printing, there is no question of loan at temple. This should be our
Dr. Stilson Judah is Professor Emeritus at the University of California at Berkeley. His field is the history of religion. We asked Dr. Judah to tell us about his association with Swami Prabhupada.
The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is a bona fide movement. It is a movement which is actually older than that of Christianity. The worship of Krishna is one which is extremely popular in India. It is one of the great religions of India at the present time, as it has been throughout all of the years of history.
One of the questions most asked by people is whether Hare Krishna is just a passing fad or is it really here to stay. Next week we're going to try and get all the answers. Will Hare Krishna survive through the 80s? What happened to the movement after the passing on of their leader, Swami Prabhupada? And what kind of worship do they have?